What is going on, guys? Today we have a special video, not really special, just a deck profile, and we have the purple yellow Crocodile. I have been waiting a long time for this, and yeah, so before we get started with the deck profile, make sure to subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Leave a like if you are excited for purple yellow Crocodile, and let me know in the comments below which deck are you using for EB01. Alright, without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so for the first card of this deck, and one of the reasons why I'm so excited about this deck is because they got support for Baroque Works, and yeah, makes the deck more playable, more fun. So yeah, let's get started. So the first card is the Miss Valentine. Miss Valentine, not a new card, OP04, but is the searcher of this deck. And what's good about this searcher is that it has a trigger that it's playable. So it allows you to combo it with Kato in this deck so that you can cycle through your deck and get the Baroque Works cards that you need. So very important card to have at 4. Alright, next is the new blocker that Baroque Works gets. Miss Wednesday, F3 cost 4000 power with 1k counter, is a new blocker, and as you can read here, when your opponent attacks, you can -1 Dawn to gain a Dawn active, and it combos very well with the leader ability. The leader ability on your opponent's turn, when you return a Dawn to your Dawn deck, you can add up to 1 Dawn from your Dawn deck and set it as active. So you can already see the big synergy between the two cards, and it's a very good card. And yeah, unfortunately we are in a format where Sakazuki is still playable and Law has gotten a big upgrade, so this card might not survive every time you play her, but later down the game becomes very useful also as a blocker. So yeah, you have to be careful about that. And the other new card that we're getting is Mr. 2 Bond Clay, right? So you have the ability on play to ramp a Dawn active. Super good with this deck, because this deck you want to get to 10 so you can play your big bodies minus your Dawns and start comboing out of here. So yeah, and also has an additional effect that when attacking you can select one of your opponent's characters and copy the base power of that character. So it's very good late game when they start bringing big bodies and cannot clear the Mr. 2. You get to swing very big with this one here. So especially very good against a yellow. Once they drop the Big Mom, you can copy the Big Mom attack, and so you have a 12k swing. And for the next card, and this one is an old card but a goodie, and you get 4 of the Crocodile. So the Crocodile is probably the most important card of the deck, and you have to have it in the field to be able to do all of your combos. So Crocodile on play, you -2 and you gain a life, but then on your opponent's when your opponents attack, you -1 Dawn, you draw 1 and trash 1. So this allows you to 1 trigger your leader ability, and 2 cycle through your deck. That's what you want to do. You want to cycle through your deck so that you can find your events or your other big bodies to play back to back. So 4 of these, very important. And then after that, pretty straightforward. the 2Ks of Baroque Works. So I put 3-3 because these are not really playable, right? You often just use them as 2K counter. Maybe the Miss Double Finger, you'll play her off a trigger just to ramp up, but you'll have to trash a card. So it's a little bit iffy if you have to play her, but if you have to, you have to. So 3-3 because we do have other 2K counters, but at least these ones are searchable with the Miss Valentine. So that's pretty good. And the other MVP of the deck is Oh Come My Way. So this is the new event that we got for the EB01 set, and it's an insane ability. So for -1 Dawn, you can redirect your opponent's attack. Unfortunately, it only works if your leader is Baroque Works. So yeah, very, very good, and it has an insane trigger. Draw 2 cards for -1, and that -1 triggers your leader ability. So insane, right? So this card is especially good in this deck because, as you'll see, not only do we have the Crocodile, but we have a lot of big bodies on this in this deck. So if your opponent swings for 7 or for 8, you can redirect your attack, well, his attack, to one of your big bodies, and they survive. So insane card. And also, before I forget, and we'll see the card later on, you can redirect to some of your other characters and activate their KO effect. So hint to, we are definitely playing Kikonojo. So yeah, so that's it for the Baroque Works package. So this is pretty much all the Baroque Works that we have in the deck. And then after that is to help us support our mid to like our early to mid game, so that we can go to our late game. So here I have 3 lot blockers, and it's very, very good in this format because a lot of your opponents draw a lot of cards, right? You have your Sakazuki that's gonna have a lot of cards, you have your Karakris that they're gonna take their life and get a lot of cards, and you also have Uta. Uta is one of the decks that is gonna come back in this format. So it's very, very important to have this law to be able to disrupt your opponent's hand, and having your opponent discard 2 random cards is very, very good for us. And then after that we have the Kikonojo. So Kikonojo, it's a very, very good card. On KO, if your opponent has 3 or less life, you gain a life. So that's what I was saying when you can use Oh Come My Way to target the Kikonojo to be able to gain a life. So very, very good combo here, just to prolong the game so that you can have access to all your late game monsters, or characters I should say. And then after that we have 4 Geratsu. So I put 4 Geratsu because 1, it's not searchable, but 2, there's a lot of leaders with 5 life, and there's a lot of characters with 4 cost. So 4 cost is still a good number to hit in this format. And yes, for OP07 it's going to be less good because a lot of 5 costs are coming out, but for this format I think there's still a place for Geratsu. And like I said, we're using everything that we can in the mid game to disrupt our opponent so we can go into our late game. So what better way to have Geratsu, pop a 4 cost, and have a big body. 5-6k is a decent body to have on the board, and it has a counter, so why not? And then after that we have obviously 4 of the Capone. Capone is probably the best yellow trigger, or just the best 2k counter, because of the trigger effect is insane. And since we are putting a lot of cards in our life, the odds are good to have Capone in our life. So put 3 of that, and then we have the Blast Breath. So Blast Breath, I put it there because again, it is to help us reach the late game, and it's also good for late game, right? Because of the -1 triggers the Crocodile effect, so you can chain this and then after play either another Blast Breath or I'll Come My Way. So just by the -1 triggering the leader ability, and it gives plus 4,000. So plus 4,000 basically for free. Why not? Like 2 of these is pretty good. You can use them mid game, late game. It's a very, very flexible card. And now for the other late game characters that we have in the deck, we will put 3 Big Mom, 7 cost Big Moms, and I feel like I've tried it without her and with her, and I feel like just having that disruption, either your opponent trashing a card like a life or him giving us a life, is very, very good, because you're trying to prolong the game just to reach your end game, because I do believe that Purple Yellow Crocodile has one of the best late game scenarios, so you want to reach that. So I think this card here is very good for that, and also a big body 7-8 is very, very good. And we have 2 categories, 8 cost categories. I was thinking of removing it, but because we have in this format the 8 cost kid, we need to have the category. We need to have the category because that's one of the easiest way to deal with the 8 cost kid, and we see it back with Yamato and with Uta. So we have to have an answer for that card, and I think having 2, like if I could put 3 I would, but I think 2 is just a sweet number, and if not for the kid, it's still a very flexible card, so very, very good. And then last but not least, we have the Yamato. So Yamato is another card that I wish I could put 4 of, but this deck is already, like, you break already with that. Like there's a lot of like big bodies, no counters, so you have to try to reduce these numbers, because if you just draw them all, you're gonna lose to like anybody in the tournament, right? Or any game. And yeah, so 3 Yamatos. This is pretty self-explanatory, right? Like Yamato KO a character that is equal or less to the number of the combined life from you and your opponent, and you gain a life if you have 1 or less life. So you do reach that 1 life or 0 life pretty easily, and because you're not afraid to go down to 2 or 1, because you have cards like Yamato, you have your Crocodiles that gain you life, and you have the Oka My Way that can redirect the attack. So it's harder for them to go for game because you have access to that event, which makes that event even better, right? And then this character also, because you can go low into life, use the ability, and then start gaining life with Crocodiles and all of that. So very, very, very good deck or card. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this deck profile. I did say that I was gonna bring it to the regional. Definitely still need some testing to do, but I do believe that it's gonna be at least a very, very fun deck to play, and it's gonna surprise a lot of people, because the matchup, if it reaches to late game, it's very, very hard to take down this Crocodile. So yeah, thank you for watching, and make sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and leave a like if you do agree that Crocodile is a decent choice for the regional, and let me know in the comments below if it's not, what is, or what modifications would you do to the list, and let me know which deck are you bringing to the regional. Alright, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.